What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Best Bet show. We're going to have a different style here, if you can't tell by a lack of a guest. Austin is enjoying himself in Arizona for the next couple days. So he's not with us. He's enjoying a much needed little mini vacation, puts in a lot of work. But he's enjoying himself. So I'm doing the show solo for a little bit. And unfortunately, I leave for my honeymoon when this comes out Sunday. So I'll be gone for about a week. I'm still going to be posting football plays, may hop in a video for Thursday. It's kind of up in the air what I'm doing, but I promise you, after that trip, I'm back in full force. Content is back. Shows are still going to be pumping out, and you're going to see a lot more of my face, whether you like it or not. But that being said, I figured the best thing to do for this episode would be to run through the slate, give you guys what I think are trap games, teams I think need a must win to maybe bet on them, depending on if you like the situation or not, and then weather games to watch out for when you are betting, just to keep in mind that there is a tropical storm coming in this East Coast that will affect three games. Now, there are some trap games. You may disagree. What is a trap game? You know, where the spread seems a little too good to be true. And I'll start off with the Bills -6 at the Commanders. Um, it is just because they are on the road. Josh Allen and co. had that tough loss week 1 to the Jets, bounced back in convincing fashion at home. But this one's going to be weird. It is a weather game. The rain is going to be pretty adamant or supposed to be around this time, especially game time. It's going to be very run heavy. And one thing about Josh Allen is he loves to turn the ball over. So if he does try to throw or just try to go on the run, just he needs to be careful. Commanders have a pretty good defense. Again, the -6, it's even going to sort of -5 or -5.5. When does it become a Bills spread? I really couldn't tell you. The weather, I'm probably just going to leave this game be just due to the nature of it. And we're pretty early. It just seems like a weird game, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills absolutely rolled. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Commanders kept it close or even won outright at home. Second trap game is this Dolphins -6.5 versus the Broncos. Now, the Dolphins look fantastic, 2-0. Jalen Waddle just ruled out an hour before I recorded this. Tyreek Hill should be heavily used. I'm on his over 6.5 receptions. Um, but the Broncos are a desperate team, 0-2, choked a game or two away already this year. This spread just seems like the average guy's going to look at this and say, why would I not take the Dolphins by a touchdown? The Dolphins are home. It's a desperate game. It's a weird line. Something seems fishy, and I don't think I'm going to bet it. I do think the Dolphins win. But 6.5 opened up, I think, at 3.5 or 4. It's going to be tough for me to back that 6.5. Maybe you could bet them live, but I'm staying away. If you like the Dolphins, by all means, take the stab. But to me, it's a little bit of a trap game. Those are my biggest two trap games. Now we're going to go into must win games for teams. Um, Pretty simple. It's only week 3, so you're like, what is a must-win game in week 3? But truth be told, the trend that I love, and I get a lot of hate for this, but since 1980, so for the last 43 years, every team that has won the Super Bowl was 4-2 and or better through the first 6 weeks. So if you were 3-3, no team has won the Super Bowl or worse than that. But when you think about teams being worse than that anyway, they're probably not making it. But a team can have a tough schedule, be 3-3, win a bunch of the next games, win their division, and win the Super Bowl. Apparently not due to this trend, and I love this trend. I actually use it. I make a Super Bowl bubble at the end of the 6 weeks, so usually week 7 because some teams have bye weeks, and I'll make a Super Bowl bubble, which the trend will be broken one day, but for now, 43 years of data, I'm going to use it. These trap games, Chargers, I said charges. Let me just fix that real quick. The Chargers and the Vikings, must-win game for both teams. I mean, if the Chargers lose, Staley's got to get fired. If the Vikings lose, you probably look to trade Kirk Cousins down the road just because of his contract, and it just kind of makes sense. They probably don't, but I would look into it. You can't really go 0-3 in the division that you're in. And last year, you were just an analytically horrible team. You just had a good record. Seems to be like the law of averages is kind of balancing itself back out. This game should be a shootout. If you want to bet an SGP in any game, this is the game to go. I'm on Jordan Addison, longest reception. Uh, I like Keenan Allen. I like Mike Williams. I think this is going to be an air heavy game. Should be tons of points, the highest total on the board, I believe. This is the SGP game. As far as the sides, I'm not touching this with a 60-foot pole. You couldn't pay me to play this side. Both teams need to win. Should be a fun one to watch. Bet on props, have a good time, and move on. The next must-win game for teams is the Bengals. Joe Burrow may not play on Monday. 0-2 in their doghouse division. They're very lucky that the Steelers and Browns are obviously both 1-1. They played each other. Ravens look like they're running away with the division already. Bengals 0-2 is not what I had in mind. It sucks because I finally hopped on the Joe Burrow train, and I think I was right all along with him just not being that great, even with the weapons he has. If the Bengals do lose, T. Higgins has got to get traded. You can probably get him at a wide receiver 2 price. But I know he wants to be wide receiver 1. I know they did not uh, extend their contract. So he should be one to watch. I wouldn't be shocked if he's on the Packers at the end of this year if they're in contention. But Bengals Rams must win for the Bengals. If Joe Burrow plays, it's going to be hard for me not to bet the Bengals. But you never know. Keep in mind they play Monday night, so we have a couple days to figure that out. And then weather games to watch out for. Ravens Colts. No J.K. Dobbins, but it should be run heavy from Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, Lamar Jackson himself. This is going to be run heavy game in the thick of the rain. Same with the Bills and Commanders, and same with the Patriots versus the Jets. Be careful betting props. If you're going to bet props, bet maybe over rushing attempts in some of these games. To me, I like to stay away until I get a sample size of what I think is going to happen with what teams do in these weather games. And it's also not just regular rain. It is a tropical storm. So I'm personally staying away. But just make sure if you see a low total or if you see a person's prop very low, just keep in mind those 3 games. Now, those are the run throughs. I could tell you what I'm on my Twitter page and everything else. I just kind of wanted to make this a whole slate breakdown. So I'm just going to go off the dome here for a little bit. You have 2 big spreads: Chiefs -12, Cowboys -12.5. You can't pay me to play those spreads. You can't pay me to take the +13 or +12.5 on the underdogs. It's just not going to happen. I'm on Brandon Aubrey over 2.5 extra points. I believe it's still -140 for the Cowboys. Um, to me, you have a 12.5 point spread, team total almost at 30. You can't give me 3 extra points. Doesn't make sense to me. I'm all over that. One game that's interesting to me is this over under a 48.5 or 48 is the Chiefs Bears game. And I know everyone is on the over. I think I lean the under. I think the Bears are just abysmal. I did not get that hype going into the season. I don't get the hype. Obviously, there is no anymore now. The Chiefs should look to lock things up defensively. Chris Jones and co should be able to keep them at bay. I think the Chiefs, if they get ahead, they just kind of run the clock out. You can run all over this Bears defense. I wouldn't be shocked if they ran the ball a lot in general, and the pace of play was just eating clock, keeping the ball in their hands, and just controlling the whole tempo of the game. So that's kind of the slate review in general, to watch out for some trap games, which teams need to win, and be careful with the weather. Again, I'm going on my honeymoon. I will be back not for the next week, but I still will be posting plays and maybe on a show. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing. Again, once I get back, with full throttle videos, more guests, more contests. I appreciate all of you guys and your interaction and all of your support. Best of luck this Sunday. Have a beer, enjoy some wings or pizza, whatever your drink or snack or meal of choice is. And I'll see you guys next time on the Best Bet Show. Peace.